Hello, welcome along to the final whistle. I'm Kenzie Benali.
And I'm Steve Forbes.
And that Kyle Walker-Peters goal was the only difference to see Southampton through to the fifth round of the FA Cup, when we will face Wolves away. Dean Hammond and Paul Belveston are back with us to dissect all the major talking points from that match. Belvers, will come to you first. I think before we saw the team news, Arsenal were probably the favourites going into this one. But really, given the strength of the side we fielded today, it's no surprise to see Southampton come out on top.
And I think that's great reward for the bravery in the team selection, because with the injury list, it would have been very understandable if Ralph Hasenhüttl had said, do you know what, I can't risk any more. We're going to have to sort of knock this one on the head a little bit. Instead, he played virtually his strongest side. And that first hour was absolutely magnificent. Arsenal were dominated, really. Southampton certainly had the game under control. You're giving that goal to Kyle Walker-Peters, are you?
Well, we are going to talk about that a little bit later on, so you can give us our thoughts on whether you think we should or not. Dean, we'll come to you on your overall assessment of that game. A nice little warning sign for Arsenal ahead of Tuesday.
Yeah, it certainly is. Really, really good performance, very dominant performance. And like Paul mentioned there, just a justified decision by the manager to play such a strong team. And it was the attacking threat and the flow seemed to be back within the first half. The movement of the front four was excellent. They were really, really bright, very, very creative, moving off each other, created some really decent chances. Shea Adams won in the first half. We drove at the defence, went round two players, struck the ball across the goal. Really good save by the goalkeeper. Again, the goal by Kyle Walker-Peters, whoever we're giving it to, was good play. Came across the pitch, switch play, committed the defender, and one-on-one. And then the 15 minutes of the second half, where Danny Ings hit the post, ball's going across the box. Just really, really composed, effective performance. And then the last 15, 20 minutes, very disciplined, kept a good shape, committed defending. So a good result, builds confidence going into Tuesday night. And it was really, really good to watch. You know, we spoke before the show about potentially worrying about not being creative and scoring enough goals. I think there was enough there today to show that them players, after a little bit of a rest, have come back refreshed.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Paul, now we can deliberate the goal. I'm sure Kyle Walker-Peters will want to claim it, but we all know it was an OG. But it did really reflect how good a first half it was for Southampton.
Absolutely deserved lead. It was a well-worked goal as well, because I think it could well have been tapped in if it hadn't been deflected. But Fraser Forster was a spectator that half, wasn't he? I'm so impressed with that back four, led by Jan Bednarek. What a rock he is. He is always in the right position. So they didn't have any great concerns at the back. I didn't see Arsenal causing many problems at all. And then going forwards, as Dean said, always looked like there was a chance to create something in that first 45 minutes, first hour or so. So, I can't imagine Ralph's team talk was particularly long and involved at half-time. It was just keep going. He must have realised that Arsenal were going to have a spell and that his team might tire a little bit given everything that's been going on. But, first half especially was absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, it certainly was. Now, in that first half, Dean, we saw James Ward-Prowse hit the crossbar from a corner. Bit of a strange one. Firstly, did you think he meant it? And how on earth did he do that?
Well, I love James Ward-Prowse. Obviously, he's very special at the set pieces, but I'm not going to give him credit for that. I don't think he meant to do that.
Of course he did.
There was a lot of variety in the set pieces today, different angles, different strikes, inside his foot. He was driving the ball, different movement for the strikers in the box. I don't think he meant that, but it almost caught the keeper out. And if he did mean to do it, I apologise, but that's very, very creative, because there wasn't much of an angle there. But no, he had a very good performance again, James Ward-Prowse. He really did. And when he plays well, or the two midfield players well, Diallo again did the dirty stuff. Very, very disciplined, lots of energy, winning second balls, winning the ball back and giving it to the more creative players. So them two were very, very good. And actually, James Ward-Prowse's set pieces all afternoon were very, very dangerous, putting them in such a difficult area for defenders to defend and making them make decisions. But I'm not going to give him credit for that, I'm afraid.
Well, he wasn't the only Saints player to hit the woodwork. Danny Ings was back in the side today, and he hit the post in the second half, although the move was pulled back for offside. Paul, how did he do for you overall today, coming back in?
Especially that first half, he looked very fresh, didn't he? There were no lingering issues with the COVID, when on the other side of the, up against him, when Shea Adams was up against Gabriel, who's also had a layoff because of COVID, he did look very sluggish when Adams pushed the ball one side and then ran round him, which was a wonderful moment. But yeah, I think there were tremendous signs that that Danny Ings looked sharp, he looked fit. They were linking up so well up front again, all four of them, with Armstrong and Walcott in there as well. So yeah, no great surprise again to see him come off late on. But no, I don't think Arsenal will be looking forward to facing him at all again on Tuesday here. I think with a bit of luck, bit of a run injury free now for Danny, because he's not had big injuries. He just keeps picking up these little annoying ones that give him 2, 3, 4 weeks out, don't he? So if he can have a little run injury and issue free now, I think we could see him explode again in terms of goal scoring.
Well, we've had Dean and Paul's thoughts so far on the show, but now it's time to see what you're saying at home. Plenty of comments coming into us, as you'd expect. Azza on YouTube, good afternoon. He says, wow, what a win that was. Let's go. Forster's stats in these 3 games he's played: 0 goals conceded and 3 wins. Certainly not bad, Azza. Stephen, hello. He says, tough win, but a great win. Dug in deep to the end, but we go again on Tuesday. Saints 1976 has left us this comment on YouTube. What a great start to Saturday. Well done, Saints. Come on, you Reds, says Margaret. Andrew said, a fabulous win for the Saints. Bring on Wolves now. Yes, absolutely. On to the 5th round we go. Katie, good afternoon. She says, so happy. Come on, you Reds. Knocking out the current holders. Incredible. Yes, this is Arsenal's competition. So a big win for the Saints today.
Yeah, definitely. And Southampton did field a pretty strong side today. Paul, you said that you expected Ralph to make quite a few substitutions. It was actually he's made his first, in the 78th minute. Was that just a reaction to being 1-0 up and wanting to hold on to the result?
I think the big thing with Ralph is the immense amount of trust he has in his players, and he works them furiously hard in the week. He expects a real extremely high level of fitness from them all, and I think that was him showing faith and trust in them there, that he knew that the desire, the work rate, the energy levels, they were all going to be maintained right the way through, despite all the problems that they've got. And when you bear in mind that Mikel Arteta brought on 3 very, very big key performers for himself recently: Thomas Partey, who's been immense in the middle of midfield; Alex Lacazette, all the pedigree he's got up front; and Bukayo Saka, who has had such an influence recently. He brought all of those on. Ralph didn't feel any need to change anything dramatically at all. It was only late on. And then when you do make substitutions, you want them to make an impression, have an impact, cause the opposition problems, even if you only bring them on for a few minutes. And I think Dan Onundalu again showed why he's had such an impressive little run of cameos recently. And then, of course, the start against Shrewsbury. And Shane Long, I mean, I thought it was a penalty late on. He certainly caused them problems as well. There seemed to be some contact there and he went down, but maybe not enough. Who knows? But all the players coming on had an impact. The players who stayed on never dropped their levels at all. It was so impressive all ways round. You knew that Arsenal were going to come into it and cause a few difficult moments, but to be honest, I still don't think Fraser Forster was troubled that much. He had that one save with his legs that the ball came off Jack Stevens from Eddie Nketiah's shot. But yeah, what a tremendous all-round performance.
Well, Dean, I want to invite you to give your thoughts on that then. As Bell was just said, Fraser Forster wasn't tested too much in that game, but how did he do for you overall?
Yeah, he did fine. He did very well again. You mentioned the stat that it's a 3rd clean sheet, I think 3 wins. So yeah, he's done very, very well for coming back in from the cold after a long period out. The save he actually had to make was a really, really good save. He was very patient. He came out, closed the angle down, and then made a really, really good save with his left foot. So that was impressive because he'd not had a lot to do. So his concentration levels were there, which is excellent, which is really, really important for a goalkeeper. His kicking was fine. It was okay. There was I think once in the first half he was a little bit slow where he tried to play out, but he looked comfortable playing out, which Ralph demands off his goalkeeper and his back four to play out from the back. And I think second half, one flashed across the goal and he made a really, really good contact and made a good punch that cleared the area out of danger. So he did fine again, and it's really, really important to have that competition for that place. You know, McCarthy's been fantastic. He's rightly the number one, but Fraser Forster behind him will improve McCarthy's performances because he'll have to continue to play well to keep the number one spot. So he did very well. Another clean sheet for him, so he couldn't ask for any more.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's also another opportunity to see Ibrahima Diallo in the midfield. Dean touched on it earlier about him being in there doing the dirty work. Paul, what's your overall verdict on his performance today?
Oh, he's just incredible, isn't he? What a bonus he's been, because he arrived as, he's obviously only 21, and he arrived with a lot of developing to do, we were led to believe. But after the loss of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg over the summer, there's been this wonderful reaction by Oriol Romeu coming in and performing so well. And then when Romeu is lost to suspension and then injury, in comes Diallo, and he looks like he's been playing in the Premier League all his life. It's just been incredible. He's got the lot. Yes, he does the dirty work, but he can pass and doesn't try to do anything too extravagant there. We saw he's got a wonderful burst of pace when he chased Pepe back 50 yards and then just sort of danced away from him. He looks so assured on the ball. His positioning is so good. He presses well. He's really managed to pick up on that pressing philosophy that Ralph demands and expects all of his players to do. He smells danger as well, which is so important in that position. And we talked about how influential and important Prowse is in the middle of midfield. Well, one of the big successes this season has been how well he and Romeo have dovetailed and controlled the middle of the park like that. Diallo has come in and there hasn't been a drop at all. I think he made his debut against Chelsea, played against Liverpool, clean sheet against Fulham as well. Now this game again today, he has been a huge bonus. And how you fit all three of them into the team going forward, I don't know. And how you choose between them, it's obviously a wonderful problem to have. It offers up the prospect of good rotation in there as well to keep that engine room fresh. But yeah, he has been a huge bonus. What a wonderful signing in the close season.
Yeah, most definitely another great performance from him, but as you say, probably causing Ralph a few headaches. Mark Littlewood at home agrees with us. He says Diallo looks like an absolutely terrific find. Plenty more comments coming in from you all at home. Thank you very much for getting in touch with us here on the Final Whistle. Lorraine says, great win for the Saints. First half better than second, but we did hang in there. Steve Clark, thanks for this one. He says, looking forward to seeing Southampton face Arsenal in the league on Tuesday. Ashley said, I said we'd win 1-0. Love our work ethic. Now for Tuesday night. We've got a comment here from Bodmin Saint on Facebook. A great result, lads. Let's go again on Tuesday. And Will's nodded to just how great Jan Bednarek's been. He's proving himself every week, and our back four is looking so strong.
Yeah, definitely. Well, aside from the game on Tuesday, Saints now move on to the 5th round of the FA Cup, and it's Wolves next, away from home. They scraped past Chorley last night, Dean. What are your early thoughts ahead of that game?
It's a good game for Southampton. It really is. You know, when you get into the 5th round, there's a lot of good teams remaining in the competition because they've got that far and are going away to Wolves. Southampton will be confident. Wolves are having a very indifferent season. There's no real consistency to their play. They're struggling to score goals. So, yeah, it's a good opportunity for Southampton to progress. It'll still be a difficult game. To go to Molineux is never easy. And if Wolves turn up, they can be a good team. But Southampton will be confident, and I don't think there's many better ties they could have got. Potentially a home tie, of course. That's always what you look for in your cup run. But yeah, going to Wolves, I think they'll go into that game thinking we can progress again. We can go there. We know what the manager's like. Every game he tries to win. He'll play on the front foot. He'll try and attack Wolves, and Wolves are vulnerable. So yeah, a good game, and they'll be confident going into that to try and go into the next round, and that's when it gets really exciting.
Yeah, it certainly does. It will be a tough test, but of course the next job at hand is to face these guys once again. Yes, we will be in action against the Gunners on Tuesday. Now, Balvers, as always, we're going to put you on the spot and ask you your predictions for an early lineup on that match.
You're going to mention that without actually referring to my prediction of 1-0 Saints win here today?
I think we should give you a bit of praise for that, to be fair. But I must add, you did say you were going to go with the same prediction as Dean, so I'm not sure you deserve that much credit.
I wasn't expecting your memory to be quite that reliable. I'm just pleased that this is my first win on this show, because I did the Palace game on the opening day and then the other day, so at least things have turned around. I think as far as Tuesday goes, it'll be much the same again. I think Alex McCarthy will come back in for Fraser Forster, and then of course there is this forced change at left back with Ryan Bertrand suspended, so presumably Jake Vokins comes in for I think that would only be his second Premier League start. Apart from that, I can't see any changes. Maybe Ori Romeo might be back, and then there's that headache that we referred to earlier, but surely the front four, the rest of the back line, Prowsey's going to stay in, so I think 2 changes maximum. If he doesn't make those 2 changes, if Alex McCarthy is kept out by Fraser Forster, that would be a big shock, and the other changes enforced. So I think it'll have to be that. But I think it's interesting as well with the cup draw that go to Wolves midweek, is it around the 10th, and then that weekend back against Wolves again. So it's another double header, just like this one against Arsenal has been. And yeah, Wolves won't be relishing this draw at all. So yeah. Hopefully Southampton keep this wonderful little run going.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it is a packed fixture schedule for this season. And Dean and Paul, thank you so much again for all your insight today. Really appreciate it. We didn't need extra time or penalties today, did we, to march on to the 5th round of the FA Cup? But as Kenzie did say, we are back on Tuesday in the Premier League again against the Gunners. It's an 8:15 kickoff for that match, so we'll be back with Saints Live at 7 o'clock. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you then.